In 1998, three teenage friends went on a short camping trip to Red River Gorge in Kentucky. One of them, Shane, brought along his old Polaroid camera, hoping to capture creepy photos of abandoned cabins deep in the woods. That part of Kentucky is beautiful, but it's also remote, isolated, the kind of place where, if something goes wrong, no one's coming to help you. Late that afternoon, the group stumbled across a small wooden house, just off a narrow trail, completely surrounded by trees. There was smoke rising from the chimney, and sitting on the porch was a man. Long gray beard, overalls, boots. He had a hunting knife in one hand, and in the other, a slice of meat slowly being carved. The man smiled. He said his name was Walter, and he invited the boys in for dinner. At first, they hesitated. I mean, who does that? But Walter had this weird old Southern charm about him. He wasn't pushy, just kind of off. He said he lived alone out here. No phone, no electricity, just the forest and his quiet thoughts. And then he added something strange. He looked directly at Shane and said, I know why you're here, and you boys came just in time. Inside the cabin, it was surprisingly clean. Rustic, sure, but neat. A cast iron pot was bubbling on the stove. The smell? It was good, like beef stew. Walter served them each a bowl, thick broth, beans, and big chunks of meat. He said it was beef, home-raised, butchered the week before. They ate, slowly, hesitantly. But yeah, it was actually pretty tasty. Except Shane couldn't shake the feeling that something was just wrong. He kept glancing around the room, and that's when he noticed a wall covered in photographs, old ones, faded yellowed Polaroids. Most were just scenery, trees, old barns, stuff like that. But a few had people in them, except these weren't family photos. One showed a young woman with messy red hair. She looked scared. Her arms were tied behind her back. And then Shane froze. Because the t-shirt she was wearing, he'd seen it before, online. It belonged to a girl who went missing in this very forest 2 years ago. Shane made an excuse and stepped outside. He walked behind the cabin and saw something near a pile of chopped firewood, a large black trash bag, half open. He went closer. Inside was a human hand, pale, rigid, with chipped red nail polish. He didn't scream. He didn't shout. He just turned around and walked back inside. He leaned down and whispered to Randy, "We need to go." Now. Then to Victor, "Trust me. Get up. We're leaving." The three stood, thanked Walter for dinner, and made for the door. Walter stood too, calm, silent, holding his knife. He said, "Leaving already? You didn't even stay for dessert." Then he stepped forward. The boys ran, out the door, into the trees. They didn't stop running until they reached the trailhead where their car was parked. And even then, they didn't talk, just drove, straight to the nearest police station. The next day, police went back with them to the spot. But when they got there, the cabin was gone. No chimney, no trash bags, no bones, no Polaroids. Just empty forest and a patch of freshly turned soil behind where the cabin had been. They dug, and what they found was a shallow grave. Inside were bones, human, several people, maybe more. But they were so decayed, so fragmented, that only two could be identified. One of them? The red-haired girl from the photograph. Walter was never found. No one matching his description was ever arrested. Some say he was just a forest spirit, a demon in human form. But Shane swears he was real. And to this day, he says the stew tasted off. The texture was all wrong, chewy, dense, and deep in his gut. He knows that what they ate that night wasn't beef. Let me know what you think in the comments, because this case still haunts everyone who hears it. Smash that like button and hit subscribe for more real stories buried in silence. Inspired by true events, the Forbidden Files.